Alrighty, what's poppin'? In today's video, I'm about to showcase you guys the best settings for Pokemon Legends Arceus on the Yuzu Emulator. Alright, so currently as I'm recording this video on January 31st, basically the last day in January. Currently there is an internal problem with the Yuzu Emulator, which is the black screen. Some people are experiencing black screen throughout their whole playthrough, and it's unavoidable. Even in some cases, when you have a save file to skip certain parts, you still can experience the black screen. That's something internal. That's not something within your PC, due to the fact that it's Yuzu's current builds that's causing that, and they're trying their best currently to basically fix that problem for you to not experience that anymore. Like, say for example, if you're watching this video 2 months from now, or you're watching this video 5 months from now, obviously that black screen problem won't exist anymore. It's just currently the black screen problem exists, and that's what comes with newer games that release on the Switch, and it's not compatible yet with the Yuzu Emulator. This game is barely even a week old, so I believe within a month from now you won't see that black screen problem. But with all that being said and done, I'm gonna showcase you guys basically the best settings you can use to play Pokemon Legends Arceus on the Yuzu Emulator. So first things first, we're gonna start off with the configuration settings. Then we're gonna obviously go to graphics. Now the API, some people love using Vulkan. To my opinion, Vulkan is still in beta stage. Especially when you try to play newer games on Vulkan, you may experience you might not have the best experience. It depends on your PC build. So my suggestion is always using OpenGL. You can try to use Vulkan if you want, but please do keep in mind OpenGL is far superior at Vulkan at this point. So try it at your own risk. If it works for your PC, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But please keep in mind, Vulkan is still in beta stage. Advanced, use a VSync. Now, VSync is basically blocking your FPS. Now, if you're trying to play past 30 FPS, my suggestion is use VSync off, where you can basically get the max amount of FPS you possibly can from the game. Share building, I feel like that's optional. Use fastest GPU time. I personally suggest you to use that, but also the most important one, if you're trying to play past 30 FPS, my suggestion is to take off VSync. It's very important to take off VSync. CPU, I usually leave it on auto, but if you want to change the setting for it, always go to unsafe. Mess around with these, but these things, in my opinion, are pretty advanced, so you gotta know what you're doing when you're messing around with these things. But usually when you keep it on auto, it's pretty good. Audio default is usually good. Audio does not affect too much of the gameplay experience. Controls, if you set up your, for example, Xbox One controller, Xbox Series X, PS4, PS5, your PlayStation 3, Nintendo Switch, they all can read it. The user can read most controllers. System, we got default. In general, now general has been I noticed that they added a couple new things. Hide mouth sensitivity. This is basically gameplay experience. Mostly when you leave these things on default, they're usually good. Now also, resolution. If you want to play these games in 4K or any lower, obviously the thing to do is put it at 4X, but this is all depending on your PC build. Don't expect to play games in 4K on a low end build. That does not make any sense. The emulator will clearly crash on your PC. If you have a really strong PC, you can try to go for the 4K experience. But if you have a low end PC, leave it at 2X or 1X, where you can get the best experiences possible. And using any lower is basically experimental. So aka it's in beta stage. It's in the really early infant stage of their beta stage. You can use it at your own risk, but I mean, most that you can ever do is crash your emulator and then you just change the settings and then you're all good. So if you're trying to play at 4K, go 4X and above, only if you have a strong PC. If not, don't even try it. Just leave it in 2X and then call it a day. Press OK on that. Next thing is go to your Nvidia control panel. Now this is for Nvidia users. Now if you guys watch my previous best settings videos or anything Nvidia related, you guys know how it goes. I'm not gonna go into too much detail. With this, there's only basically 3 very important tabs. You guys may have more tabs. That's fine, you can mess around with that, but the first 3, the 3D settings are the most important tabs, in my opinion. Okay, when you go to use preference, my suggestion is always going to performance or quality, because we're basically trying to push this emulator to the best settings as much as possible. And then set configuration, obviously use a graphics card. I have a 1050, that's pretty good for the Yuzu emulator. Manage 3D settings, now I'm not going into too much detail, but you can pause the video and basically copy and paste. Not copy and paste. Basically try to imitate the exact settings I have. Now they have basically certain emulation settings like shader cache shot size, that's related to emulation. OpenGL rendering GPU, that's also related to emulation. These are like the settings I'm giving you, you can mess around with. Virtual sync off, that's basically VSync. So like I said before, if you're trying to play past 30 FPS, always turn off VSync. Triple buffering, I don't think that's related to emulation if I'm not mistaken, but you can mess around with that, but I just leave it off. And then after that, use your high performance. We're trying to push this emulator as much as we can. And then the second tab is basically the same thing, but it's just on the global settings. Like I said, you can copy the exact settings I have and pause the video. And then after that, you put add select program settings. You apply it. Then you exited that. And then now the 60 FPS mod, I'll leave a description down below. For the 60 FPS mod, where you guys can set it up, how it basically works. Pretty simple and easy. Get out of the zip or WinRAR file, drag and drop it to your desktop or wherever you want to drag it, I guess. And then go to mod identification, drag and drop it here. Exit out of that. Left click again, properties, make sure it's on. Checkbox, make sure the box is checked. Press OK. And basically you're all set and good to go. That's basically the best setting for Pokemon Legends Arceus. If you guys see the black screen from, I say for example, 1 or 2 months from now, which I highly doubt there is, it's probably would have something to do with your PC. But if you're experiencing the black screen pretty early on, for like say for example 2 weeks or 3 weeks after this video is out, it's probably internal. And the Rising's team is basically, the Yuzu team is basically trying to fix the black screen problem. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys enjoyed this video, feel free to leave like, share, also subscribe guys and new to the channel. And yeah guys, this is your boy Brayton. I'll see you guys in the next video. Signing off. Peace.